Hi folks, quite a nice day in London, sunny and cloudy, little shower, excuse me. I don't know if any of you have watched the latest Netflix release on The Dig. It's about a hoard of Saxon gold in Suffolk in the UK. Lovely film, but and true. Well, there's a documentary on YouTube about it as well. I think it's Peter Kelly history. Well, it's wonderful. It's just the lovely, lovely flat landscape of Suffolk and Norfolk, undulation. But the burial mounds were quite large, and the actual, not the mounds so much, but as the landscape, it really does do something to my brain. I just love the textures you can get. But the particular view that I was taken with was a lowering grey sky, and sunny underneath, going across the flat landscape. Sutton Hoo was the burial place near Felixstowe. I had many holidays there as a teenager. My mum married my stepfather, who came from Felixstowe originally, spent all his working life in London. But his relatives were there, and we used to go up for summer holidays and so on. We had a wonderful time. Didn't know anything about Sutton Hoo then. This discovery was in 1939. So I'm going to try and do something like the landscape, the deceptively simple landscape of just some silhouetted trees on the red and the green, not the red, yes, the red and the green ochre landscape, which I should use that brush for. It's a bit of MDF, 10 by 8, a couple of coats of, not rubbed down because it's rough enough as it is, just put the PVA glue on and it lifts the surface, gives a nice tooth. Not suitable for the rubbing out though, it needs to be more smooth and so on, but great for practicing on, and it's very durable for permanent work and very inexpensive. So what we'll do, we'll get some oil and we'll put in a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of ochre and a bit of white, a bit of ochre got in there. Now this is the Payne's grey from Daily Round. It's a student quality, but this tube, I've always moaned about it. It's got so much oil in it, you can see it's squeeze it out. I'll never buy it again. I've got a big 220mm tube of it. Nothing wrong with the colour, it's just that it drips, the oil just drips out of the tube. It's far too much. Okay, so let's get a bit of blue, bit of white, plenty of white, just a hint. If that's what we're going to silhouette against. I'm only making this up. It was just so beautiful, and that is everything I want to paint really. All the tonalist stuff. I put the odd church in. Simple, but deceptively so. Alright, now let's get some of that grey colour in there. Good bit darker than that. So we get a bit of counter change between the blue and the grey. I'm going to put in a few clouds. Very simple. looking forward to painting today. Good morning. I've just prepared a couple of 16 by 12s. Some of the lighter tones of grey in the rest of the sky. We'll put some blue in there. You don't need to worry about getting things exact. It's the more inexact you find attractive. I need to clean that brush and get some more white in that blue. Okay, now we're going for a bit of a darker blue. Put a touch of red with it. So the boards I'm preparing are for the tonalist ones, but I'll give them a couple of coats of PVA glue, then I'll go over with some white emulsion, some acrylic household paint, just to give it a tint of white. Some of the ground colour showing through. The MDF has got that lovely, very light ochre colour. Oh, Suffolk, Norfolk, Cornwall, God, it's all beautiful. We had some camping holidays in Norfolk with our trailer, camping trailer. We used to have a camping trailer. I sold it about 7 years ago. I had some lovely times in it. Been to France 7 times. Okay, so that's just very simple sky. Now, what to do the landscape now? So plenty of oil, and I use red and ochre, and I'll make a green in there. So we have yellow, red, blue. For one moment I thought I wasn't recording. Just enough to colour. There's some lighter green now. No great undulations, just a little bit. Put it here, put some there, one there. Go down into the shadow. Okay, that'll do. Oh no, let's get some red in. Do like a bit of red. Bit of red ochre. Alright, so now, got to be careful here. I'm going to use this. No, I'm not. I'm going to use another rough little brush if I can find it. No, can't. So, where's it gone? Well, you know the mess I work in, don't you? There's one brush that. Oh, maybe that's it. All worn out, all my brushes, apart from the graduate brushes, they're all, you know, you don't need classy brushes for this. Now, we want the red, the blue, the yellow. I'm going to try to get that yellow all mixed. Nice little some air in. So the burial site was Saxon, it wasn't Viking. More red in that. Try to leave some gaps, so I'm using this brush to let the air come through, bird holes. Have a low one here. Okay, I'll just even that skyline up. Now this is as simple as oil painting gets, isn't it? Okay, that's about it really. Just well, maybe we can put some slightly bluer ones in. Just to fill that gap a bit of distance. That gives a bit of perspective to it. Let's just clean it up a bit. Right, okay, well that's all I'm going to do on that one. I'll put it in the frame and then I'll go start finishing off my larger boards. Right, okay. Whoops. So, a lesson, a tutorial in, not putting much in, but enough, so that people look at it and just imagine. If you put it all in, there's nothing for the imagination. That's why the Impressionists were so popular. So it was all suggestion. Well, I don't know, I've oversimplified what they did because they were fantastic. Well, there we are, a little Suffolk landscape, simple as I could make it. Sky, I like the sky. Let's just move you over to there, to there. Okay, so that was it. So on here there would have been, well, nearby would have been burial grounds, great big mounds, and they were excavated by the woman who owned the land, and Mr. Brown, I think from the British Museum, who was an archaeologist, and they uncovered this wonderful, there's nothing left of it, but the impression of that boat was still in the soil. It was pretty soft soil. A lovely Saxon longboat, absolutely beautiful. But what they discovered, the gold, the helmets, and the artefacts of gold are quite incredible for that time of our existence. Makes you think. But if you haven't seen the dig, it's the biggest hoard of Anglo-Saxon gold and treasure ever found on British soil. Sutton Hoo. And I turned on the telly this morning in the kitchen. I was cooking breakfast, and I often go on straight on YouTube. I don't bother about the fake news. And there he was, Sutton Hoo, archaeological dig, Peter Kelly, and he's done loads of historical ones. So I should be watching a lot of those on YouTube. Good old YouTube. Alright, okay, well I hope you like this. I'll probably get a few thumbs down, but because it's bags of nothing, but it represents an atmosphere for me. I could have made it more detailed in the foreground, but it was just the contrast between the silhouette of the trees and the sky with a cloud above it going right across the sky. Right, okay, bye for now.